Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
From Gold Star Stadium here in Mineola, New York, the Varsity Media Sports Network presents this non-league showdown between the Chiefs of Massapequa and the Flyers of Chaminade. Today's game is sponsored by the fine folks at Catholic Health. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with Rob Pennell. And Rob, it's a meeting it's the first meeting since 2019. It's been a while, COVID and adjusting schedules after COVID. So these are two teams that certainly not a big distance between them travel-wise, but it's good to see them both coming back and playing each other. Again, the first meeting since 2019, and two teams a little bit in different spaces here going into their third game of the year. Massapequa, we see the Chiefs right there. They are 0-2, losing to St. Thomas Aquinas and Bayport Blue Point. And Chaminade, conversely, bouncing back from that opening season loss, that 2-goal loss to St. Anthony's by beating Ward Melville on the weekend.
Yeah, Chaminade opening up with perhaps the best team in the country at this point. St. Anthony's, who's come out really hot and off to a great start. And they played them tough, and they responded in their games after that with a couple wins. And the Massapequa team, who's still looking for their first win. So I'd expect a hungry team in Massapequa today who's going to fight and try and win those loose balls with a little extra effort today than they did in their first two games.
Yeah, their head coach, Mike Draper, in his second season said, listen, practices have been great. The guys have been going hard. They've been riding and clearing, and he loves the energy even after those two losses. So that's perhaps a good sign for Massapequa as we look at the Chiefs players to watch in this one. And offensively, it kind of begins and not ends, but certainly Aiden Christie is the straw that stirs the drink. You see 2 goals, 4 assists on the year for the senior, who Draper says is possibly the best player on the field at all times, and also calls him the fastest kid he's seen in 20 years. An improvement he's made, Rob, is that a year ago he would just go, go, go. This year he's using more of his brain and his lacrosse IQ to kind of stop and let his guys get in position, see the field a little bit better. And Ryan Fountain, we saw him in the football season, the LIU commit with the long pole. He is terrific. Not only one of the best defenders in this game today, but one of the best in Nassau County's public schools.
To have your coach talk about you like that in Aiden says a lot about his talent. And certainly looking forward to watching him today, maybe see him play a little bit more aggressive, trying to get his team their first win of the season here.
There's a good look at Christie there during warm-ups. And again, a year ago, just go, 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 more patient this year when dodging. Now he's slowing it down, letting things develop. If they invert him a year ago, he would just go right away, not allow the guys to get into their spots. This year he says, listen, just one move and go. You don't need the double and triple moves. And Christie's refined his game and become a much better player. So you mentioned Chaminade before, in a good win in lousy weather on Saturday. A chance for Jack Moran also to run out some other guys, and we perhaps will see a third midfield unit of Peter DeBuscher and Michael Cutterback, as well as Jack Connolly. But it was, listen, Jack was happy with what he saw in game one, right? He said it was a few mental mistakes here and there, giving up goals late in quarters. They cleaned it up, certainly against a very good Ward Melville team that will battle for the Suffolk title. But the Flyers, as you mentioned, you play arguably the best team in the country, close. You are the number 8 ranked team in the country by USA Lacrosse Magazine. So this is an opportunity for them to obviously continue to showcase what they have, maybe use some of your extra players, and just kind of continue on in this season of theirs.
Chaminade's only going to get better as the season goes on. First game against St. Anthony's, obviously a lot of things that we saw in that game that a team early in the season faces. Offside, some penalties, turnovers, stick work wasn't as good. They're only going to improve upon that, and certainly are looking to peak at the right time in May. Certainly not trying to peak in March here.
Well, let's look at the Flyers players to watch here this afternoon, and we feature Aiden Lau, the Navy commit, leading the team right now with 5 goals. And you feel great for Lau, right? Because he's a kid who had ACL surgery at the end of his sophomore year, had that big brace a year ago, and struggled with that. Brace is gone. He's feeling good, and we're seeing the impact on the offensive end. And defensively, we've talked about Ben Fox the last couple of games. We'll feature Ben Cacavo here, the BU commit. He has been very good as well. Has worked so hard in the offseason, put on about 10 or 12 pounds of muscle. Tough kid, good communicator, good on-ball guy as well.
Yes, Chaminade is Navy in the north, northeast. A bunch of Navy guys. Aiden Lau leading the way of that group of about 4 or 5 guys headed to Navy. So Coach Amplo knows what he's doing, recruiting from Chaminade. Ton of talent up here, and looking forward to watching Aiden and all his Navy, future Navy teammates compete today.
Yeah, I think the parents are going to just need to get like a bus or something, right? Just bring the whole bus down, right? And enjoy that ride to Navy's beautiful facility, which is only getting better now with a big donation as well. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visitors from Massapequa. Your attack line is Dernan, Urban, and Gargiulo. Your middies, this is where the experience is. You've got Aiden Christie, Patrick Radomski, and Will Burney, all back from a year ago. Your close D are Fountain, Fiola, and Nicholas Hink for second year. Head coach Mike Draper, a 1999 graduate of Massapequa, played at Cortland, graduated in 03, spent 7 years as Gordon Purdy's assistant at Adelphi, former Massapequa assistant coach and a phys ed teacher at Pequa since 2005. And in goal for the Chiefs, there you see him, Matt Giannotti going to Wingate. He has made great strides from last year, especially in terms of his leadership. One of the captains of this Massapequa team, Matt Giannotti, in the cage. Let's look at the starters now for the host Flyers of Chaminade, and it's an unchanged lineup. You've got Creo, Landolfi, and Riley on attack. Your first midi line of Correa, Flaherty, and Lau. Your defense is Fox, Cacavo, and O'Brien for head coach Jack Moran in his 44th season. Just picked up win number 595 on the season. And in the cage for the Flyers, he had a terrific game the other day. His PJ Verdi going to Johns Hopkins played really well against Ward Melville on the season. Verdi with 25 saves. Let's take a quick break. We'll have the keys to the game as well as the starters at the Face-Off X. It's Massapequa, it's Chaminade. It's all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
And we welcome you back to Gold Star Stadium. Anthem played. We're just about set to go. Dylan Butler, Rob Pennell, our entire Varsity Media crew here with you for this renewal of a annual matchup between Massapequa and Chaminade. Let's take a look at the keys for both teams, Rob. And for Massapequa, they want to pick up those first-time ground balls. They want to clear with some more composure and also finish those opportunities when they have them in front of the cage. And for Jack Moran's Flyers of Chaminade, you want to win the faceoff and ground ball wars, continue to get great goalie play from Verdi. We also want to see some improvement from the extra man and the man down unit as well.
Ground ball is always an emphasis of every team. More often than not, the team that wins the ground ball war is going to win the game. Massapequa obviously is going to have to play a very clean game today versus Chaminade, who probably is the better team, but is certainly beatable. And Massapequa, with their talent, is going to need to play sharp, need to play smart, limit turnovers. And then Chaminade there, putting an emphasis on goalies, face-offs, but also the EMO, extra man up and man down teams, as being able to capitalize on those opportunities goes a long way. Scoring those easy goals and stopping teams from scoring those easy goals, very important.
Let's meet our face-off guys for today's game. For Massapequa, it is Aiden Stanton. You see there at 46% on the year. Quinn Ball at 50% of his face-off wins on the season. Off the face-off, Ball wins it back, and right away pressured by Christie. And there's one of those ground balls you mentioned before, picked up by the Chiefs.
Great win by Quinn Ball on the faceoff. Just got to secure the ball there, run the pressure, get rid of it, finish the play there. Now Massapequa, great job picking up that ground ball, and we'll see their offense here.
Yeah, they went pole to pole, and now they got the ball to Durnan, the Adelphi commit, as they were able to get a successful clear. Here's Aiden Christie. We mentioned him before. He's got the short stick matchup, and he's got that ability, at least in most games, to just kind of blow by that defender.
I think what you're seeing from Massapequa here early on is being very patient. Christie with the shorty, giving it up to take his time, knowing the ball will come back to him.
And Verdi with the first save. Loose ball picked up, though, and the fake and the goal by Durnan.
It's a great heads-up play, great job by Massapequa not stopping to play. Like, shot by Christie, ball's picked up in front, and the play is finished. As you see here, Christie, goalie just drops the ball. Christie stays with it, gets it out from under his stick, and then the ball is picked up by Durnan, who does a great job finishing in front of the goal, continuing, increasing his angle, being very patient, letting the goalie make a move, and putting it in the back of the goal.
Yeah, Durnan, the leader of this attack unit this year, another guy who's made great strides, bigger, stronger, faster this year. And Draper says kind of always has that knack of finding himself in the right place at the right time. Face-off win again for Chaminade. And this time it looks like the Flyers were able to get on attack for the first time. It's Correa. Pumps the brakes. Now gets it to Creo. Pretty balanced collectively scoring in the early going of this season. As getting downhill is Landolfi, and man, can he rip it.
Probably going to want to slide to that guy when he has a short stick. Great move down the alley here, and it's just a simple case of no one sliding to him having a step, being able to get his arms free. Like with the short stick on him, he just gets to his spot on the field here. That's what we call 8 to 10 yards. Call it the slot for midfielders. Getting to that spot is where you want to get those shots from, so you have enough angle and you're close enough to the goal. And he just puts that with some speed to that off-stick side and ties it up here for Chaminade.
That's Lando's third goal of the year. Big body, big kid, big shot. A power player, Jack Moran says, and the third face-off win for Ball. So the Flyers back on attack after just tying this game on Landolfi's third goal of the year. And here is Landolfi. Works it to Connor Cutton. And now it's Correa. He's got the short stick. Hands it to Cutton. Working off the screen. That's Fountain, 42 for Massapequa.
Really good defense there, matching the feet of Creo.
Not easy to do, that is for sure. Here comes Lau. Nice fake, but it goes right into the teeth. There'll be a push from behind. As you can see, Scott Bowen, the LSM for Pequa, had the position to get the ground ball, and he got pushed from behind. So Pequa will, as long as they get it clear here, go back on attack. Here comes Connor Enright, the senior, part of a second midfield unit, also will play defensive midi for the Chiefs. And there is Christie.
Look for Chaminade to try and get the pole to Christie. Obviously, he had the short stick on him first possession, but they're going to try and get the pole to him as much as possible.
Will Burney switches hands to his left, stings it over the crossbar. Burney, a Stony Brook commit, has looked great in practice, but it's not quite translated to the field as of yet, Draper says. And here comes Radomski downhill. In and out of Christie's stick, and now he looks to Hunt, trying to get that loose ball. It's a scrum, and it's one there. We thought for a moment it was won by the Chiefs, but they stepped out. And again, some sloppiness as that clear was unsuccessful, and here come the Chiefs now. Tough pass to catch, and our first flag of the game will go against Flaherty for Chaminade.
A little bit of a force there to the crease, but it paid off. He caught it and pushed from behind. Massapequa will go man up.
Yeah, 32nd off of that push.
A little sloppy here to start. You can see a lot of those 50-50 ground balls. Pass here, he's just pushed in the back right there and drops the ball. So part of Chaminade's keys to the game were to stop the man-up offense of Massapequa. So we'll see how their man-down defense does right here and see if Massapequa can capitalize.
Good opportunity for Radomski. Shot that one wide. He's going to Siena. Dad Tim, longtime former head coach here at Massapequa. Saw him now in the stands. Helped deliver a couple of state championships to Massapequa. Now we're even. Christie pumps the brakes. Now goes the other way. Christie had his man beat, and that shot went wide.
Nice matchup for Christie there. I would like him to see take a step or two more up the field before he shoots that. He's kind of a low angle, pulled it a little bit, but if he comes a little higher with that short stick on him especially, he's going to be able to just create more angle for himself and put it to that far pipe.
Good-looking freshman here on the ball, Tyler Burns. Had to start in their first 2 games of the year with Nate Urban out sick, and that was an errant pass, so Chaminade gets the ball.
Chaminade's done a great job early on so far of extending out with their long sticks and really getting in the hands of Massapequa, not giving them any room to initiate their dodge and really putting pressure on their hands when they're making passes. It's caused some turnovers early on for them.
Good clear for the Flyers. That was Charles O'Connor. And now Chaminade looking to take the early lead. Up top, Jude Lynch, and he hands off as Chaminade has that second midfield unit on. Luke Moran. Looked like that stung the bar. Not sure if Gennady, did he get a piece?
Yeah, they could hit him in the face. Hit him in the little chin music there. Nice 2-man game by Chaminade to get a shot off. Just got to try and get it to that far pipe.
Another shot. Looks like another save for Gennady. Got low that time to deny Brendan Riley.
Yeah, nice move by Riley there. You'd like to see him kind of try and finish in front as he gets underneath there. Might have to take a check or maybe a push from behind, but he's going to increase his angle there.
Jump shot and a goal. Creo gets it. His 4th of the season, and Chaminade takes the 2-1 lead.
Great individual effort by Creo here. Just comes across the top. Really not much to talk about. I mean, he just kind of kept coming across and stick in his hands on the run, moving away from the goal. That's good defense there. He just makes a great shot, gets some velocity using the jump there, and just puts it past the goalie there. So, great job.
So back-to-back goals for Chaminade after conceding the first of the game. And it goes back to Ball and Stanton. And again, Ball wins it backwards. When you can do that, Rob, certainly you negate then the possibilities of the wings getting involved, right? You just get it back and you can go forward instead of maybe getting it mucked up a little bit and get those long poles if you are poling at the wings.
Yeah, he's able to get it out to the wing with space for him to pick up that ground ball with not a lot of pressure on him. And all it is just a one-on-one from there to just clear the ball and get it into the offensive end. So great job by Quinn there and consistently getting it out to his wings there, and you know, it's 2 in a row just like that.
Here's Lau. Getting it to Correa. Will also play at Stony Brook. Good look down low. BTB. Looked like it was either saved or off the post. The ground ball was picked up. And Correa will go again. Nice fake. Low shot. And that off the mark by Riley. Here comes Cutton. Nice spin, and they'll work it to X.
Chaminade with a lot of 2-man games so far, whether it's bringing the short stick to a long pole or short on short, trying to create some opportunities for their offense there.
Correa, top side, sidearm shot. He's had a few opportunities here. A few different looks as well, different angles. And here comes Cutton. Another low shot.
Some good looks for Chaminade here. They're creating good offense, really sticking to this two-man game, trying to create opportunities off that, which bringing two guys to the ball generally opens up space behind them, too, for some cutters or for some step-down shooters.
Here's Landolfi. Top side. Landolfi with power. Good save by Gennady. Landolfi, that hockey guy as well, so he brings toughness to that position. One of the leaders of the Chaminade team this year. Lowering the shoulder. Now working it behind the cage was Lau. Low to high, and Gennady read it well.
Gennady settling in here. Chaminade with multiple looks there. He made a couple saves, a couple missed the cage. It's a possession like that that can really build confidence for a goalie early in a game. Let him see the ball. And
really good clear, too, to get it to Christie. And now here's Nate Urban. Tries to get to the crease, and Verdi picked it out well. Look out for this one. And somehow it gets to Cutton, and what a save by Gennady.
Back to Chaminade. A little sloppy here early on. I would have loved to see Massapequa settle it down when they got the ball on offense there. Sure enough, Gennady, though, keeping them in the game here. That's two great saves in a row. He's probably like, guys, let's control the ball here. Let's clear it, and let's take some time here as they just played a lot of defense. Chaminade probably has had 6 or 7 shots in the last few minutes. Let's be patient here on offense. Let's get our guys on the field. Let's play some 6-on-6, and let's take the air out of the ball a little bit.
7 first quarter saves already for Gennady. And here is Christie. Radomski's willing to set the screen. Christie goes the other way. Ooh, just missed the net. It looked like he lost his man there for a moment.
It's a great job of using deception. He dodged. He had the double team on him, and all he did was step away and look like he was going to throw it back to the guy that set the pick for him, and both defenders went that way and left him back open. So there's a lot of things you can do with your head, with your stick, being deceptive as a dodger. That's going to make the defense go one way and might leave you space, which it did for him. He just shot off the mark.
Gargiulo. Here's Christie again. Splits defenders, splits again. He's under duress. Needs some help. Gets it from Radomski. A loose ball hold, so Massapequa will maintain possession. And the Chiefs will talk it over. Mentioned before, first meeting between these two teams since April 2nd, 2019. Chaminade won that game 13-8. It was one of 2 early season losses that year for Massapequa. The first was to Garden City. It was also their last loss. They would win 16 straight games, beating Fairport to win the New York State Class A title in that game. Talk about guys who are doing their stuff on the college level, right? Tommy Rogan, who's now at Dartmouth, had 3-2 for Chaminade. Mike O'Connor, who's playing basketball at Stanford. He had 2 goals, as did Matt Major, now at Holy Cross. Riley Gray, also 2 goals. He's at Notre Dame, as is Chris Kavanaugh, who had a goal. Liam Entenman was in the cage for Chaminade that day. He's one of the better goalies, Division I. He's also at Notre Dame. And on the other side, for Massapequa, Colin Gleason had 3-1. He's at Siena. Sam Lufty is just down the road at Hofstra. He had 2 and 4. And Eamon Hall, who plays at Adelphi, which is even closer to Chaminade, had 2 goals. So good to see. And this is a little bit of what we're going to see now with these guys in the future, right? Like they're all going to go on and continue and play high-level lacrosse. And a year ago, Massapequa, they went 13-2, played so many one-goal games, and it was like a logjam up top with Massapequa, Farmingdale, Syosset, and Port Washington. Of all those one-goal games, though, they lost their last one, which was an overtime loss to Syosset in the Nassau A semifinals. From that team, you lose Anthony Malika and Vin McDermott, who are both at Hofstra. Michael Valentine was a terrific close D. He's at Merchant Marine Academy.
One-goal games are great as long as you win them.
How about that? Will Burney burns the back of the net, and we are tied at 2.
Great dodge here. Great shot. He really gets to his left hand, gets to the middle of the field, which is where you want to get as a Dodger. And as he's coming, sweeping across with his left hand, he puts it back to that near side. Just a good roll dodge, protects his stick, and brings it back to that near side off stick. Puts it on the goal. It's just a great shot. Every goal, he's going to have a tough job saving that one. Massapequa tying it up 2-2.
Bernie's third goal of the season. And the fifth face-off win for Ball. So it's now Chaminade looking to respond. And that was a good response, especially too after a timeout, right? I mean, you had just given up 2 goals and it was a little bit sloppy. You played a lot of defense. So I'd imagine Mike Draper had to like what he saw coming with his team coming out of that timeout.
Yeah, well, they owe that to Chaminade for 2 great saves in transition on Chaminade's shots. Look for Chaminade to try and dial it in a little bit here, maybe get a good opportunity to see that ball go in the back of the goal. They've had some great looks, just haven't been able to cash in.
Inside the final minute, great cut, jump shot, save, rebound behind the back. That is wide. I think they're calling crease violation. Was that?
Yeah, he got pushed into the crease, and after he took that behind the back shot, when you can't fall in the crease, he missed it, which means if his momentum carries him in the crease, then that is a turnover.
Good clear for the Chiefs, and here's Radomski. Now the Chiefs can hold here for the last and potentially take a 1-goal lead into the second quarter. Here's Durnan. He's got the long pole on him and O'Brien. Back to Radomski. He'll play his collegiate ball at Siena.
He's got the short stick on him, so look for them to attack that. Look for the quick slide.
Off the outside of the net after that slide came. Verdi says, why not? I'm going to force another save. Chaminade. So 9 first quarter saves for that man. Chaminade has been busy. And here's one of them. Chaminade's got it dialed up to 11 in this first quarter. That was nearly his save total as well. 9 in the first quarter. And Massapequa and Chaminade tied at 2. You're watching it right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Chaminade to
Back here at Gold Star Stadium, Dylan Butler, Rob Pennell with you. 1 quarter in the books. It was a good one. Massapequa off the bus a little bit late, dealing with some traffic, and they look the part, as you said in the open, of a team desperate and looking to play some really good early season lacrosse.
You really have no option but to come out and give it your best effort, certainly in the first quarter. Now it's just, can they sustain that for 4 quarters? Look for Chaminade now to maybe assert their athleticism a little bit and try and stretch out when they're playing defense and really force tough perimeter passes, and look for them to assert themselves offensively and to continue to take shots on Chaminade. And we'll see with that if Chaminade can keep up this play so far, as he's been great with 9 saves.
That was his game total in the second game of the year. And Pequa called for the push on that face-off. So Chaminade back on attack. Draper went back-to-back St. Thomas Aquinas on Friday and then Bayport Blue Point on Saturday. And he said maybe that was a faux pas on his part he said, look, last year it went all right. When you played back-to-back, we split a couple games. We beat Scarsdale. But obviously when you lose, then it's kind of on the coach, right? And his scheduling, I'd imagine. So that was one that I guess he wanted back. But 0-2 start for Massapequa, and certainly a step up in competition in a big way here at Chaminade this afternoon.
Never easy to go back-to-back at any point in the season, but especially early on, you're practicing hard. Guys don't have their legs under them as much. They're not really in game shape yet. So going back-to-back is certainly a test to your team, but maybe that's what they needed to start the season, to just check them in to where they're at and get them ready for the Chaminade game.
Turning is Landolfi. That's a fun matchup, too, because he has Wieserick on him. Forced it inside. Ground ball, though, picked up by Lau. We've seen a few times where that pass just kind of into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, I think Massapequa's in a zone defense here, which is just allowing Chaminade to pass the ball around the perimeter, maybe force them into making those looks inside and jamming the ball in there, causing a turnover. Chaminade just being patient, moving the ball around, looking for those skip passes and looking to skip into a lane. Did a great job there.
Landolfi fires high and wide. It was Creo and Landolfi to score in the first quarter for Chaminade, and Durnan and Bernie for Massapequa. Cutting. Good look, nice switch, split dodge, and that shot by Lau.
Cutting behind the goal here in his own defense. This should be a lot of fun for him. He's got an incredibly high lacrosse IQ, and he's a really, really good feeder. So for him to be able to sit back there, and if he has his free hands, to look through those skip lanes, to maybe look inside if it's open. But zone defenses are fun for feeders. You could take some chances, throw some passes across crease through the defense.
And now Cutting from the slot there with a low shot, his second goal of the year, and he gives the Flyers a 3-2 lead.
You see Cutting kind of exchanged with Creo there, came to the wing, and now Creo finds Cutting on the wing here, and a great placement. Steps into it, no hesitation, and just buries that bottom corner, just missing the foot of Gennady, but that's just a perfectly placed shot. Can't really place it any better than that.
Yeah, to your point about his feeding ability, that's exactly what Jack Moran said. Of those four, attackman, Creo, Landolfi, Riley, and Cutting, he might be the best feeder out of the bunch, and we've seen that materialize in assists this year as he leads the Flyers with 4 assists.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely the best feeder of the bunch, and if he can get his hands open and if he's able to survey a defense and see what's open, he's going to find the open guy. So we'll see if Massapequa stays in that zone defense here and allows Chaminade to move that ball around and step into skip lanes and see if we can get some feeds here. Legal procedure on Chaminade.
So some different personnel on for the Flyers. Another successful clear. Here's Radomski.
I'd expect Massapequa to slow this game down a little bit, and they have Chaminade 3-2. Close game. Be smart, not force anything. Get the ball around, maybe give their defense a break.
Here's Nate Urban. Getting blown up was Radomski.
Nice look.
Back, behind the back goal. It was the look and the finish by Bernie, his second. And we are tied at 3.
It's a great look by Urban here. The finish by Bernie. As you see, he gets top side here. Got the pull on him. Does a great job of just continuing. You see the pick there. Continues head up. He sees Bernie slip through. And just a great catch. Great finish. Sometimes it's the right time to go behind the back. And Bernie probably could have put this just righty on goal and scored. But he saw that defenseman coming to him, sliding to him. Maybe would have got his stick. And he just puts it behind the back, throws the goalie off as well as that shot coming from a different angle.
First face-off win for Stanton. And how about, too, giving, he won't be in the stat sheet for what he did, but just Radomski, right? He knew he'd get blown up, setting that screen to help that sequence begin for the goal.
When you're setting a screen, you got to be ready to take a hit. He did that, and that was such a huge part of the play and why it happened.
And now Radomski gets the goal, went downhill, and he beat Verdi to his right, and the Chiefs have a 4-3 lead.
Really focused on the finish here, right? Overhand finish. Puts it to that far side. He's got the short stick on him. It just goes down the alley, but it's overhand. It's along that pipe and just gets it low enough under the stick of Verdi there. So great goal by Radomski, and Massapequa with 2 quick goals there to answer, going up 4-3.
Radomski's 6th goal of the year. Clean win. Look out. Tully left it out there.
And timeout.
Yeah, Schiffel just knocked it out of his stick. And as you said, look, you've got 2 timeouts. You use it or you lose it. So Draper calls it there to make sure that his team gets possession.
I think Coach Draper sees the momentum his team has right now, scoring 2 goals, going up 4-3, to get a ball back that necessarily maybe shouldn't have gone their way, to pick it up and to secure possession and be smart here and get a nice extended possession and get a good shot on goal to potentially go up 2.
Let's take a look at the Varsity Media Sweet 16. This is not the preseason, though. This is current here in Week 2. You see St. Anthony's off to that great start after beating Chaminade to improve to 2-0, and that came after beating Culver. They went on the road. They beat Gilman. Good win there for St. Anthony's. There at the top. Manhasset, this was as of Sunday night, so they had not played yet. Northport with that opening season win over Port Washington, and we'll see the Dalers maybe move up, right? Or they certainly should move up after that win last night over Cold Spring Harbor. That was a fun one last night. Rob, that was a physical, nasty game, and listen, the head coaches, Dennis Bond and Mike Hungerford. Mike Hungerford was a 4-year assistant under Bond, and there's a great respect, but both teams love to ride. They love to play hard. The 10-man, Farmingdale showed it all game. Ippoliti in the cage, he's going to Syracuse. He was terrific for Farmingdale. That was a lot of fun under the lights at Cold Spring Harbor. Off the timeout. Last time they scored a goal off the time. This time it was a feed to the front of the net that didn't connect, and Verdi stole it away.
It was a nice play. They ran a play, pick coming out of the timeout, off the wing, pass across, and the crease was wide open. It was Radomski on the crease, just an errant pass, a little low, couldn't handle it, and see if Chaminade can answer here and tie it up.
Creo skips it. Now downhill, turnaround, jumper, good. Creo again. That is seemingly his patented shot, right? That jump shot, his second of this game, and we are tied at 4.
Great ball movement by Chaminade here from transition all the way through. The ball just spins around the perimeter, like 1 pass, 2 passes, 3, and then ends back up in Creo's stick on the crease. And he just puts it to a good spot and is able to get it past Gennady, which has been a difficult task today.
So Creo 2 on the game, 5 on the season. Looked like that was Flaherty with the assist. Good ground ball on the face-off win for Chaminade.
Timeout.
Yes, sir. Massapequa Barons thought that wasn't the case, but yes, it was a timeout. Got a great slate of games coming up here in the Varsity Media Network. We have a game right now actually happening between Garden City and Syosset. And here's some of the upcoming schedule. St. John the Baptist, West Babylon. Always fun when Garden City and Cold Spring Harbor meet. And then how about that? The Battle of the Sounds is back on the island. Darien and Manhasset. That should be a terrific game. April 8th, 3:30. And then the Dalers will head to Southside, North Shore, and Herricks. And then Port Washington and Cold Spring Harbor. A lot of Cold Spring Harbor. Listen, they're the defending New York State Class D champions. So we'll see a lot of the Seahawks this year. All those games right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You want to hit that subscribe button as well, and of course, follow us on our social media handles. Listen, if you've got a beef with that top 16, voice it here at Varsity Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But as they say in school, at least back in my day, show your work. Right? Don't just tell me that your school deserves it, right? Or say we should be number 7. Why? Let us know.
I don't know. I saw Smithtown West, number 15 there, so they worked their way in from the preseason poll into the top 15 now. A couple teams with losses on there and no wins, so I don't know how that works. So I'd have beef if I was some of those teams out there.
All right. Terrific shot by Lau. And Chaminade takes the 5-4 lead.
How do you beat his own defense? You let the ball work, and Chaminade's done a great job against this zone defense of moving it around the perimeter, being patient, and then putting a great shot on goal here. Opposite stick side, to the hip, very tough shot to save, and it's from top center. When you're a shooter, to have that whole goal to look at where you can shoot to anywhere, great shot by Lau there, and certainly the answer Chaminade needed after going down 4-3.
Yeah, Lau, his 6th goal, and right away, ball. That shot actually goes off a Creo in front. Ground ball picked up by Schiffel. But how about the extra work there? Landolfi, but a flag is thrown, and Moran is like, that was him just doing a great job, Lando.
I'm going to disagree with Coach Moran here. I think it was a push before, and I would look back to the faceoff. When Quinn Ball wins the faceoff, does a great job, pushes it forward. Faceoff guys hit the point. You have your best feeder on the team wide open at the point of the fast break to make a play, and Quinn Ball takes a shot that doesn't even get to the goal. He did his job. Reward yourself, maybe get an assist or your second assist by hitting the point and putting the ball in your playmaker's hands. That's the ultimate goal of playing offense. So look for Chaminade and Quinn Ball to fix that moving forward. But now they go down man-down defense, which is one of their keys to the game.
Yeah, second man-up opportunity for Massapequa. They are 0 for 1. This one will go right down to 5:58 on that clock on the bottom of your screen. 32nd man up. And right away, it's kind of wasted, right? Where Christie looked to be more of a pass than certainly a shot. Definitely wasn't a shot. But Verdi was able to pick it off, and now if they get a successful clear, maybe they won't. Great job defensively, and here comes Massapequa in transition. What a great save by Verdi, denying Tyler Burns.
Some great back-and-forth action here. Great ride by Massapequa there. I would have looked for them to maybe pull it out, knowing they were man up and settle back in there. A shot on the run in transition from about 10 yards. A tough scoring opportunity, especially for a lefty on that side of the field with his stick, going away from, lower angle. Tough shot there to put on goal. Sure enough, great save by Verdi, and now Chaminade back on the attack.
Here's Creo. So Chaminade does what they needed to do, as it is even. Here's Creo.
Massapequa still in that zone defense. The way to beat a zone defense, move the ball. Make them slide, make them play the ball, and then recover back into their position. You just got to move that ball fast rather than hold on to it.
Creo, turnaround shot and a goal. Just finding that seam was Riley. He extends Chaminade's lead to 6-4.
See what Creo does here is he has that double team, and what he does is such a smart heads-up play. You see he'll back it out to draw that double team further away from the goal to create space for Riley to step into that area and to score. So it was a great shot placement by Riley, put it in the upper corner there, but heads up and really high IQ play by Creo to just back out a little bit, have those defenders follow him, extend them more from the cage, and then just a quick little dump pass to Riley inside, and he's able to capitalize.
For Riley, his first of the game, 5th of the season, and Creo's having himself a really terrific first half. 2 goals, 2 assists for the Richmond-bound senior, wearing that special number 19, Jimmy Regan's former number. Here comes Jude Lynch. And there is a foul and an opportunity for Chaminade to go man up, as Wiezerek will be called for the infraction. This will also be a push. 32nd. Weezerick, a kid who's transitioning more this year to close D from LSM a year ago.
That's just Lacrosse 101 right there. Can't push a guy in the back. As a coach, that probably frustrates you seeing that. It's going to be called every time. See if Chaminade can capitalize on the man up here.
And if they do, they will take a 3-goal lead, the largest of this game. Lynch up top is Creo. And he shoots it wide. Backup was there.
Creo feeling a little bit right now. It's a 15-yard shot for him. I think as a coach, you want to see that ball move a little bit more, see if you can get a better opportunity than 15 yards.
We're even. Here's Lynch. He got eaten up. Ball stays with Chaminade. And here comes Creo. We've seen him score. We've seen him facilitate as well. And now it's Cutton going back behind the cage to be that facilitator as they work it up to Landolfi. Off the screen. Good ball movement for Chaminade.
Looks like Massapequa was back in a man-to-man defense.
Here's Creo. Nice hitch, low shot saved by Gennady, but he loses it. Cutton takes it away. Connor Cutton, goal!
The little plays, the high IQ, something so simple as just putting your stick up in front of the goalie to distract his outlet pass. And a lot of times, more often than not, you might get a piece. So Cutton comes out of nowhere here. Right place, right time, gets his stick in the right position, and just catches it and rips it low.
What a shift in momentum, right? Good save by Gennady. Looks like he's been so good in the clearing game as well. So it's a 6-4 game. You potentially have the ball. You get it clear. You can get within 1. Now you're down 3 with another faceoff win by Ball. And Cutton feeling it. Gets it through the 5-hole.
I think Ball may have had me in his ear after the last faceoff. Great job by Quentin Ball there to pop it forward. And this time hits the point, hits your playmaker in Cutton, and he's feeling it back to back. Looks like he squeaks it by a 5-hole here.
So Ball gets the assist. Her third goal by Cutton and 2 in quick succession. And Chaminade creating a little bit of separation. This is becoming a really important part of the game now for Massapequa.
Quinn Ball's been great today. We saw him against St. Anthony's. I think he was about 50% that day, and off to a slow start that day, and heated up. And today he looks great. Winning a majority of the face-offs. Close to perfect today.
Yeah, faced a tough duo for Ward Melville as well. Good 1-2 punch at the face-off X with Katevsky and Murphy. So that was a battle, and he came into this game at 50%. But as you said, in this situation, able to dominate and give a deep Chaminade team a bunch of extra possessions. Inside of 2 minutes, Cutton, great look, switching hands, and that shot off the mark.
That's that kind of high IQ with Cutton, the feeder that he is. That's a high-level feed right there through the defense. And if his teammate was ready for it, might have had a goal there. It looks like he kind of caught him off guard a little bit. So when Connor has the ball, you want to have your stick ready because you never know, he'll find you.
Here comes Lynch, switching to his left. Yeah, right away at the start of the year, you talked about Cutton and the buzz about him as a younger player, certainly among a bunch of already committed seniors and a couple of juniors, just a sophomore, but a really high ceiling for Connor Cutton.
I think some rankings came out either today or yesterday that have him as the #1 attackman in his class on Long Island.
And you see right there trying to hunt Fiola Here comes Chaminade, gets it back to Fiola. Pumps it ahead to Lamondola. And now the Chiefs, inside this final minute, have an opportunity, but will they maintain possession? Looks like they will, as I think the ball went off of Ben Fox.
Look for Coach Draper to maybe call a timeout here, or at least hold it for one. I think you look at the way Chaminade's responded since it was 4-3 Massapequa with 5 straight goals. You certainly don't want to give them the ball back here with little time left on the clock.
Yeah, you don't want to force it, and that's a lot of times, right? When you're losing and you've given up a bunch of goals in a row, that's that mentality. Let's get one back right away, but a lot of times that ends up biting you. As here's Christie, the slide comes, dumps it in front, behind the back, Durnin.
Great feed here by Christie, and Durnin just cleaning up what could have been a goal right off the bat, just a little errant pass, and he picks it up in a great finish behind the back there, nice and fancy. We love those.
Durnin second. He will go on and play for Gordon Purdy out of Delphi. Big goal, 2 for the Chiefs. They pull within 3 with 26 seconds left. Ball.
Enough time for Chaminade here, though.
Yeah.
They can attack quick. Great defense, great play.
Yeah, Fountain affected that one. Gets the Wieserick. And now can Massapequa maybe stick one here late? They've got 5 seconds. Fountain to Fiola. At this point, yeah, that's what you want to do. Just get it down the field. As the ball just lands well in front of the goal. So it's a back and forth. Chaminade, though, took over there a little bit late in the second quarter. This is what you want a Quinn Ball to do, right? Win it, go, hand it off, and a finish by Connor Cutton. 3 goals for the sophomore, and it is Chaminade with that lead, an 8-5 lead after 2 quarters. It is Massapequa and Chaminade renewing their rivalry right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
We welcome you back to Gold Star Stadium here on the campus of Chaminade High School. It's halftime, and the Flyers have an 8-5 lead. Dylan Butler, Rob Pennell, the entire Varsity Media crew with you, and this game is sponsored by the fine folks at Catholic Health. Rob, a tight first half, and we'll show you the first half stats. Certainly not in terms of possession and shot attempts. You see 23 shots for Chaminade, just the 10 for Massapequa. Chaminade was on, made 11 first half saves. That was 9 first quarter saves, 4 for Verdi. And you see the face-off battle certainly heavily in favor of Ball. Took 14 of 15, neither team able to get a goal on the man up.
Look at saves and look at face-offs, kind of cancel each other out. You look at Chaminade, 23 shots to Massapequa's 10, and that's why they have the lead that they do. Massapequa came out strong, came out fast, came out aggressive, got it to 4-3, in large part because Chaminade was making a lot of those saves. Chaminade answered the bell, though, came out, and due to Quinn Ball at the faceoff X and getting them repeated possessions, were able to score 5 in a row before Massapequa could score one more before the half closed out.
And look at right away here, the change coming out of halftime from Massapequa. They will pull Ball at the face-off. Looks like that is Fountain to do so.
Usually when a pole is at the face-off X, he's going to try and make it a loose ball, scrum it up a little bit, but he may not be as fast as the clamp, and Quinn could just get up and out if he can.
And he did. You see the hold. So another face-off win and another opportunity now for Chaminade on attack. As Rob said, in the first half, we saw a mixture. Defensively, we've seen some switching for Massapequa from zone to man. So different things for the Chaminade attack to dissect and look at.
I would look for Chaminade to come out fast in the second half, really not give Massapequa any thought that they can stay in this game. So we'll see if they can capitalize on their first possession here. But the last thing you want to do is give a team life and let them think that they can win this game. And I'm sure Chaminade's going to try and stop that from happening.
And there's Creo, 2 goals, 3 assists in that first half. Spins, good defense by Fountain again. Love that matchup of like the attacker, the key attacker against the key defender. Good move by Creo, the jump shot and goal. 9-5 for Chaminade.
Great change of direction here by Creo, coming to his left, change his direction back to his right to get the step that he needs. When you talk about being a Dodger, change speeds, change direction. He gets this step that he needs, gets his stick up the field, and looks like he gets it to that near side, just over the stick of Chaminade. Great individual effort there. Great way to move with the ball, without the ball, and he rewards himself with the goal.
And you're right. We've seen Fountain be able to kind of to stick with him, right? 1v1, but that one step is all that Creo needed to create that separation. So now again, you see Pequa riding. And a good clear. Nice turn as Lau hands off to Riley. Gets it right back. Lau goes low! And the finish, 10-5 for Chaminade.
Great little two-man game, taking advantage of the situation. Lau with the clear gives it up, and just a nice little cut, stays with the play, stays in it. You never know what's going to happen. He catches it and just puts it by Chaminade.
Give Riley the assist. He's got 1 and 1. Lau with 2, and the largest lead for Chaminade has now extended to 5, 10-5. And rinse and repeat for Ball. In that 19 matchup we mentioned, his brother James was part of that Chaminade team and currently up at Yale. Bit of a struggle this year for Yale.
Yeah, it hasn't. The Ivy League in general, coming off of last year where 6 teams made the NCAA tournament, hasn't been as strong as it was last year. Cornell certainly, I think, is separating themselves from the pack in the Ivy League. Not that I'm biased or anything. But they did have 2 big wins in a row against Yale, Penn. They played Dartmouth this weekend.
I think Princeton looks pretty good.
I think it's Princeton and Cornell at the top right now, and I think they played each other last game of the season, so it might come down to that. But, yeah, James Ball, great player at Chaminade, at Yale. I'm sure he's watching this right now if I know him.
Goal line extended. The fake. Wow. Chaminade. And then a crease violation on Chaminade.
Chaminade, he's had a few of those today, and that was unbelievable. Right on top of him, just matching sticks with the shooter, and great heads up by Massapequa there to, as Creo picked the ball, they just knocked him in the crease, and obviously can't go in the crease.
Bernie was harassed. Ed's got the clear. Now to Dernan, 2 goals in that first half.
Got to give credit to Chaminade today. This game could easily be 15-5 if he weren't in goal. He's been unbelievable.
Nice takeaway by Ben Fox, who gets it back. Christie harassed him. Now look at this, an opportunity, a little bit unsettled. Jack Tully lost it. Chaminade out of his cage. Radomski gets the clear. And here's Gargiulo. You kind of wish for Chaminade's sake that, maybe get some goals on the other end for all the work that he's been doing in his cage. Good look there. Overhand shot. Denial by Verdi. Shot was by Urban.
When a goalie's playing as well as Chaminade is, you always hope that his offense can support him and reward him for his great play and goal by putting some goals on the board the other end. Just Chaminade's defense has been strong. Verdi's been strong in goal. And quite frankly, with Ball dominating the faceoff X, Massapequa just doesn't have the ball as much to score those goals. And Chaminade has. So let's see if Chaminade can keep this up and keep this game tight heading into the end of the third quarter and into the fourth.
This shot by Urban and good save by Verdi. Looks to be an official's timeout. Good to go now. So one-man press break. Good pass ahead to Knapp. He gets in and out, and you can get that personnel now on for Chaminade. Here comes Flaherty. He's got the short stick matchup. Feeds it to X. Quick ball movement for the Flyers. A little bit of an errant pass. It's got to be scooped up. by Cutton. Cutting again. Oh, terrific look. Turning, firing, and scoring was Ronan Lauman.
Lauman had it the first time that Cutton found him. He kind of took a little too much time, didn't get the shot off, and Cutton, trusting his teammate, threw it right back into him, and this time able to capitalize with the score there.
Lauman, the lefty, shoots it well. He's quick.
So you know a good feeder, right? Cutton knew he was throwing that ball before he even caught it, right? He was surveying the field before the ball even came to him. He knew where those guys were, and he catches it and moves it without even the look, without even hesitation, which allows you to take advantage of the situation, of the play, by not wasting time.
And Ball has been a machine, and a good timeout by Chaminade as Ball was under duress. Their first of the half. And Jack Moran is in some pretty exclusive territory. Take a look at this list, Rob, of the all-time winningest high school lacrosse coaches. You see Moran 5 away from becoming just the 7th coach in lacrosse history, high school lacrosse history, to get to that 600 club. Some terrific names, historic names. Kuzo, of course, all his days at Mount Sinai and Ward Melvin. Bob Hartraft at Farmingdale. Tim Flynn at Mountain Lakes. Braemar still getting it done at Darien. That's a great list of guys. Some exclusive company for Jack Moran.
Yeah, it's an amazing list of coaches who obviously they have a ton of wins, but just the lives that those coaches have impacted, and turning lacrosse players into young men and sending them off to college and preparing them for life after lacrosse. More so when you look at those coaches that have been around for that long, there's a reason they're around aside from just winning games, which obviously they know how to do.
Moran, a 1970 graduate of Division, said he used to remember going to watch his Uncle Richie coach, and it was tough, he said, because a lot of the Division guys were kind of in his head, like, who are you rooting for here, man? Like, you're a Division guy. But he had to go with blood, that is for sure.
His uncle Richie was quite the coach, and coming up on the 1-year anniversary of his death last year, and he is Cornell through and through. Coach Moran looking down on his nephew, but also on lacrosse all over.
Luke Moran, no relation, gets the goal. It's his first of the year, had 3 goals a year ago, and it's a 12-5 lead for Chaminade.
Great ball movement here out of the timeout. Unselfish, just moving it around the perimeter. Heads up play there, you move on your right, throw it back, and just a step down from 10 yards, center of the goal. That's the one, it's the shots you want as an offense.
Jack Moran says he likes Luke's size, his ability to get to the 5x5. That look to the crease taken away by Gennady. And Luke Moran's going to have to find some playing time for, Jack said he's going to have to try to find playing time for Luke, because he's really playing really well at practice. He's gotten better, he shoots it well, which is why he's been slid to that midfield. So 12-5 the lead, and Massapequa in desperate need here of a goal. They go to Radomski at X. Aiden Christie. Now Massapequa playing that 2-man game behind the cage. Looking for cutters. Radomski does cut to the cage. Nearly losing it was Christie. Double teamed. Christie's done a good job of picking up GBs. There's a flag thrown. Christie still has it. Feeds the crease. And a whole host of laundry on the field, as Massapequa will be able to go man up. Might have 2 infractions here. Let's see.
got one in the head here, right there. A little cross-check the neck area, and then another push, perhaps, or cross-check there. So 6-on-4 here for Massapequa.
Here's the calls. Slash. That'll be a 1 minute. So it looks like 2 slashes, right? So we're going to go 6-on-4 for a minute. Big opportunity for Massapequa.
Should be another flag on Chaminade.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're 6-on-5 right now. Unless it was just a 1 penalty.
Maybe it was 2 on the same guy.
Shot saved by Verdi.
I think that's what it was. It was 2 penalties on number 30 on Fox.
His 6th.
Nevertheless, Chaminade.
Oh, look at this.
Push some transition of their own. One more across the crease. Oh, had him. Just a bad, not a great pass to start the break there, and Creo just had to catch it and make sure he secured possession. Also heads up play by Creo, knowing that he's man down.
Not looking to push it and pull it back out, and now kill off this time.
It's a better man than me. I would have threw it across the crease there. Cutton was open on the backside for a 1-on-none, so.
And with Massapequa not pressing out here, you might as well just play catch, right, at midfield.
Yeah, I think it was 2 minutes. So they are still man down for quite a while. For Massapequa, if they had scored, 1 would have released, and they still would have been up for another minute. So they could have gotten potentially more than 1 man-up opportunity. But Chaminade just did a great job of stopping them and clearing the ball and now killing time.
Creel would just skip over towards the Massapequa sideline. Now we're seeing a little bit more pressure by Massapequa. I guess it's a double-edged sword, as there's the first out. Are we even now? Yep, so that's both up. So good job by Chaminade. We heard Jack Moran say he wants to see more efficiency from his man-down unit. He does there, killing off those 2 penalties. But now Massapequa looks to go the other way in transition. Urban missed most of the first 2 games of the year with an illness. Bouncer was wide, picked up there by Dernan. Another flag is thrown. Back out to Christie. And now an opportunity. Bernie skips, fires, outside netting. This will be another 1 minute penalty against the Flyers.
Chaminade just getting a little aggressive with their sticks here in the third quarter, rather than just that good feet, stay on the hands. When I look at a defenseman, some of the best defensemen I've ever gone against aren't so worried about taking the ball away from you. They're worried about matching feet, keeping their stick in your gloves when you're passing, when you're shooting. When you get to the higher level, it's so tough to take the ball away often. If you start throwing checks, you're often getting yourself out of position.
Brendan O'Brien in for the minute. Who's the toughest for you matchup? I'm sure there's a few, as turning, firing, and scoring. So a man-up goal for Massapequa. It's Aiden Christie with his first. He pulls Chaminade, or he pulls Massapequa to 12-6.
Nice cut by Christie from behind the goal, in front, and finishing in front of the goal there. You can tell he's a little relieved after that one. He's been working hard all game long with the ball, without the ball. It's been all over the field. So finally, see one go in the back of the goal is important for him, and hopefully maybe that gives him a little bit of energy here into the rest of this game.
Durnin, the assist. He's got 2 and 1. We haven't had a face-off in a while, but it's the same result as we've had all but one, a Quinn ball win. A little bit of a sloppiness on this attempted clear. Now Correa will get the ball down. I was going to ask you before Massapequa scored in the PLL, who's the toughest matchup for you?
There's so many good defensemen, and what makes it even more difficult are the goalies behind them. So when you do think you've created a good scoring opportunity, it's so tough to get it by any goalie in the PLL. They're all so talented. It's amazing with the fast-paced nature of this game, how some games can be so low-scoring just because of how good they are. For right now, Jack Rolette, Matt Dunn, some Team USA teammates of mine are great. I have to go against Garrett Epple in practice all the time, and he's fantastic. And there's no easy matchups. You just got to prepare, and it's who shows up that day.
Inside the final minute, Chaminade in control of this game. Another jump shot by Creo. He certainly used that to his advantage, right? Obviously not the biggest guy, but he gets a lot bigger when he can climb the ladder like that.
So the jump shot is a great way to, 1, get bigger, but 2, as you're running, you can actually create some velocity on your shot by jumping and allowing your body to twist more and torque towards the goal. You see some players, and some players have been graded over time. I mean, Kyle Harrison made the jump shot famous down the alley, put into that far pipe, but it's just a way to kind of slow your body down. I think add some velocity to it. I love it. It allows me to just some more body control than when you're just running full speed. So Creo certainly, you could tell, has worked on it and has implemented it into his game, but from various areas on the field, not just from behind or up top. He does it all over.
Gary Correa stinging it from long distance. 9 seconds left in this third quarter, and he extends Chaminade's lead to 13-6.
Nice sweep across the middle here. A little pass down, pick down, allows him the middle of the field, and he comes right down the middle of the field from 12 yards and puts it into that top corner. Chaminade's been going to the two-man game a lot today, whether it's behind the goal, whether it's on the wings, trying to get their players to good spots. Might be able to get another quick one here before the quarter's up.
3 seconds. Split dodge. The extra pass. That shot just wide. Good look by Brendan Riley.
It was good if it went.
Exactly. But it's Chaminade. Listen, it's a good formula you have, right? Quinn Ball wins the faceoffs, and then you get onto your attack, and you allow Creo and Correa and the boys to do what they do best. 3 quarters in the books. It is 13-6 for Chaminade. Massapequa Chaminade on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
And we welcome you back to Gold Star Stadium. Dylan Butler, Rob Pennell with you as the fourth quarter about to begin. Chaminade with a 13-6 lead and powered a lot by Quinn Ball at the faceoff. Acts 20 of 21 for this game.
That is an impressive day. And now he's 21 of 22.
Yeah. Did a game earlier, I think it was last Friday, Huntington and Cold Spring Harbor, and Anthony Annunziata for Huntington was 18 of 18.
But it was a one-goal game.
And Cold Spring Harbor won.
That's like, being a goalie and playing as well as Gennady is today and being down by 7.
Yeah. So, Rob, this is something that's near and dear to your heart. Why don't you take us through here what session 1 of Off the Field with RP3 is going to be about?
Yeah, so it's just a new webinar series that I'm doing. It's every Monday in April. It's free to register, and really just focusing on things off the field and not so much lacrosse, but just life lessons that you learn through sport. And, you know, my time at Cornell and from playing in high school and up now into the professional ranks, there's so many great lessons that you learn from the sport of lacrosse that are going to last long after you're done playing. And when you look at young athletes these days, they're so focused on making the right team and playing the best of their ability, but there's so many other things that we can be focusing on with young athletes that are going to prepare them for life in general. And that's what we're going to focus on here. Use some of my own experiences from, you know, not making club teams when I was younger, to being under recruited, to losing championships, to now where I've been playing professional for 11 years, and, you know, how do you deal with adversity and how do you become a better teammate, a better leader. So very excited for this. It's something different than I've ever done. Usually it's coaching on the field. So I think some of the most important stuff happens off the field, and that's what I'm excited to launch here. And it starts next Monday, April 3rd, 8 p.m. You can come to one session, you can come to all 4.
I see too, open to all athletes and parents, and free registration at robpennell3.com. Highly recommend you soak in some of this knowledge that my broadcast partner has. And again, it wasn't an easy road for Rob either. I mean, you see him now, and, you know, his 3rd time on the USA team in the World Games and everything he's doing in the PLL, but Twerton winner at Cornell. But, you know, before that, right, like, it was a struggle for you in your early days at Smithtown.
Yes, you know, club teams are so important today. There were only 2 on Long Island growing up for me, Team Long Island and Long Island Metro, and it took a few years for me to make one of those teams. I was cut, you know, a couple years in a row. In fact, one of the guys joked with me a week or so back when we were calling the Marquette game. I saw one of the guys who cut me, and he was kind of laughing about it. And I didn't make varsity as a freshman. It was only one of my friends not to, and wasn't recruited. So it was a long, frustrating journey to get to where I am today. It wasn't always, you know, all this great winning and accolades and stuff. So
side netting for Christie. Flag is thrown. This will be an elbow, 1 minute again against Chaminade. You're always looking for coaching moments, I'm sure, right? And Moran and his staff will go and break down this film, and this is probably one thing that you want to get cleaned up, right? It's the 6th man-up opportunity for Massapequa. They scored on their last one.
Also in the St. Anthony's game, it was the way St. Anthony's got back into it. You know, Chaminade could have, you know, escaped that day with a win. St. Anthony's got back in it with a few easy man-up opportunities. If you're Massapequa down by 7, 4th quarter, I think Coach Draper, you know, brings a team in and says, listen, 0-0, let's try and win this quarter. Let's try and compete here with Chaminade, who's one of the best teams on Long Island and in the country. Let's compete with them this quarter. Let's get better and move on to the next game.
An errant pass. It's picked up by Burns. Again, this is a 1 minute man-up opportunity. There's Durnan. He's got 2 and 1. There's the freshman Burns. Good look, and Urban just missed the mark. Nice effort defensively by Ben Cacavo, winning that race, and it'll be Chaminade ball. But to your point, Rod, that was one of our things in our conversation with Draper, talking about this tough non-league schedule that they have. He says, listen, we want to be battle-tested for our league and for the playoffs, and he felt that last year they didn't play the best competition outside of their league schedule. So we mentioned, right, all those 1-goal games. You lost the last one, so he figured he'd have a tougher preseason this year, a tougher non-league schedule. It's all about getting ready for the big 4 games in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, non-league games are just preparation. They're preparing you for your league games, which is most important. They're playing in their class. They're trying to make the playoffs and, you know, go into the semis and the finals and reach that state championship. So while you want to win every game, those non-league games, playing competitive teams, challenging your team, dealing with some adversity early on in the season is only going to serve them more as they get into May and June.
Massapequa has won 11 Nassau County titles. 2 Long Island championships in 2014 and 2019. In both of those years, they went on to win the New York State championship as well. We often talk about how difficult it is to come off the island for these public schools, and oftentimes when you do, you win a state championship. So that was the case for Massapequa in those 2 years. A lot of the leaders of those teams are guys that either you play with or we've certainly seen collegiately. Kenny Brower right now, he was an All-American in 2019. Part of that great Duke squad right now. Angelo Petrakis, great face-off guy as well. Brendan Nickturn, we saw his dad at halftime. Nickturn was a 2017 All-American, did incredible work at Army. I feel like your career path and his were very similar, where, wasn't on like the elite club team and didn't make that Massapequa team as a freshman. Didn't get that late season call-up like a lot of his buddies did, but didn't get recruited maybe to the level he had hoped. But then all of a sudden, as there's a shot and a goal by Landolfi, lo and behold, he becomes Army's all-time leading scorer and had a terrific rookie season in the PLL.
He was Rookie of the Year in the PLL. Played for a Chrome team that had a great season as well, and hopefully serving our country, he's able to play this year. Thanks to Brendan and everyone serving our country, but the Army lacrosse players, they're just and Navy, they're just built different. So much respect for them and everything that they go through, and for them to play professional. A good friend of mine and Team USA teammates, Gareth Thule, always dealing season to season whether or not he's going to be able to play that summer.
Yeah.
So hopefully, the PLL needs Brendan on the field, and he makes his team better and makes the PLL better. So hopefully it works out for him going into his sophomore season in the pros.
Flag this time against the Chiefs. Low to high, sidearm shot by Riley off the mark. So the second man-up opportunity now for Chaminade. This will be a 30-second hold. Yeah, last year Nickturn had a great situation. His commitment actually ended up being on campus, an athletic one at Army. So he was able to kind of have tours, and if there were players in a team who needed to get some shots in, he'd go to the field and shoot with them. And this year, not the same. He's out in Oklahoma right now. If you're watching, Brendan, again, as I echo Rob's point, would love to see you in the PLL this summer. One thing his dad said, though, he's getting bigger. That is for sure. That's bad news for some of those defenders in the PLL. So second man up opportunity. Good job defensively by Fountain. Ball on the carpet. Moran tries to get it. Good job just keeping it alive. What a feed to the crease. And love the angle switch there by Correa, but just missed the mark.
I think Gennady got a piece of that.
You know what? For everything he's done today, we'll certainly give it to him.
I think he got a piece of that on his foot. I'm going to give him that to him. I can't be sure, but that was an unbelievable look from the top center there, and Gennady just staying big in goal, making what should have been an easy goal, a difficult one.
I thought one of the cooler scenes last year in the PLL, and we spoke about it at halftime off air, was Nickturn in his first year as a pro, coming back to Hofstra, and just, his mom and dad, and again, this was a family that, they would go to all the Massapequa games when it was at Stewart Stadium, and then they go to Hofstra games, or they go to the NCAA tournament, or watch all the big games that would happen at Hofstra. And for them to have a chance, and for him to have a chance to play on that field and play well as well, it was a really special moment.
Always special for Long Island players to come back to Long Island and play, whether it's in college, whether it's professionally. Thankfully, I had the opportunity to do it a number of times in college and played for the New York Lizards for years, and now in the PLL. Usually come back to Long Island once a year. This year it's in September for the semifinals, which will be a great weekend.
Yeah, you certainly hope to be there that weekend.
I do.
Yard sale. Good work by Fiola. And as you said, a lot of what you're doing right now, if you're Massapequa, this might not win you this game, but you're preparing situationally for the rest of your season. pole to pole. Here comes Schiffel. And now Bernie looks to get downhill. It's been a tough start for Massapequa. Again, an overtime loss to St. Thomas Aquinas from Florida, and then a 10-goal defeat on the next day on Saturday, that miserable weather day. How about Verdi? A denial at the crease on that attempt by Gargiulo.
Great pass by Christie there, just dodging from the wing on the short stick, just playing with his head up. Such an underrated trait of lacrosse players, specifically on offense, is being able to dodge hard with your head up. See the field in front of you, see the slide coming, see your teammates. Great job there by Christie in finding his open teammate, and just Verdi with the great stuff, trying to match Gennady on the other end.
So Chaminade, a 14-6 lead. So we'll likely see some different personnel. And Verdi making his way out of the cage. And Sal Caputo is in, and Verdi gets a nice hand from his teammates. His job on the day is done. Moran tries to go top shelf. Good job by Moran just to corral that ball. And there's Peter DeBuscher. DeBuscher! Sidearm shot. Stays with the Flyers. Physical dodge. That was Luca Palagrossi. Weezer, it comes the other way for Massapequa. They were preseason the number 1 seed in Nassau A. How about Urban? Just bouncing off the contact shot, and Caputo gets the save. He won't have an opportunity to clear, but he could make another save now as well.
You're a goalie. You're getting time at the end of the game. You want the ball on defense. You want to see some shots.
Yes.
Show coach what you got.
Oh, there's a shot he didn't want to see as Urban puts it past them.
Great feed, great finish. That backdoor cut, just that backside. Oftentimes when a Dodger behind the goal dodges to his right, you see here Gargiulo going to his right. You cut that backside pipe. Urban and just puts it in there. I was watching college lacrosse over the weekend. Schellenberger and blanking on his name, from Virginia. They just did that 5 times against Notre Dame. Unbelievable.
By the way, how
heads up
incredible was that atmosphere, right, at Notre Dame? Like, when the football team shows up, right? And that was awesome. I mean, the weather was terrible, but it was a matchup of 2 of the top teams in the country. And
Xander Dixon, that's who it is.
There you go. But it was just awesome. I mean, that was so much fun, and you love it too. Like, I mean, this is Notre Dame football, right? I mean, that's like the Dallas Cowboys, and you know, they're showing support to their fellow student athletes and coming out to the lacrosse game and, you know, taking shirts off and getting rowdy. Like, that was really cool.
Yeah, Notre Dame, number 1 team in the country. Virginia, I think they were number 2 or number 3 going in there. It was certainly easier if you're the 3 seed going away to get really hyped and excited for a game. Notre Dame was undefeated. I think it's a good loss for them at this point in the season to kind of just check themselves and to build upon it, watch some film, and get better into bulk of the ACC schedule, ACC tournament, and then into the playoffs.
I think Virginia went back to a number one spot that they had really for most. They had in the preseason, most of the regular season as well. After that loss to Maryland, they lost it, but I believe they're back to being number one.
And they play Duke this weekend.
Yes.
Great game.
Urban, or a high shot by Durnin, brought it down low and took it high. 1:26 left in this one.
I like Caputo in goal here for Chaminade, bringing a lot of energy in. He's excited to be in there. He's moving all over the place, commanding his defense.
Yeah, junior, really quick, good outlet passes. Obviously, two different styles with Verdi. Radomski. Massapequa wants a foul. Radomski.
Nice pass.
Really good pass, and the finish as well by Durnin.
That was smooth.
Third.
That was smooth. Radomski handling pressure here.
He
just
is
somehow
exhausted.
floats it over the top here. Gets through this, gets out of it, frees his hands, and finds Durnin. Just a smooth shot, low to high, upper corner.
14-8. 49 seconds left. Is that Choi in there? Looks like it is. So Alex Choi in to take the late face-offs, and he jumped. Maybe one more opportunity here for Massapequa.
It's cut.
And there he is again, Durnin.
Nice finish to the game for Massapequa here. They're not going to win the game, but finishing strong, building a little confidence as they head onto the bus and get out of here. But it's a great feed here. Christie to Durnin again. Great cut, catch, finish inside. It's important to finish games, especially when you're losing. Don't quit. Finish the game and build on it and get better going into their league play.
Durnin, a guy, smaller guy, been getting knocked around since 9th grade, but has no issues, his head coach says, about pushing that pipe. So 14-9, the lead.
Nice pass.
Trying to go top shelf was Liam Letwith. 18 seconds left.
Good heads-up play there by O'Sullivan, getting past the defender, head up, making that extra one more pass. I'm sure he could have shot it if he wanted to.
This is what these guys live for, right? Like, they practice hard all week for this opportunity, and a finish by Michael Cutterback. With 3 seconds to go. You tried to get me to say Clutterbuck.
Cal Clutterbuck.
You were getting it in my head all freaking. I did not flinch. It was Cutterback.
So, Cutterback with a nice goal there. I'm glad we could get his name in there.
Yes.
I don't think Cal Clutterbuck's watching, but if he is, hey Cal.
The final is 15-9 in favor of Chaminade. We didn't get a chance to show you, but we'll do it now. Let's take a look at what's ahead for both of these teams before we close things out here from Gold Star. For Massapequa, upcoming schedule, listen, you just played one of the best teams in the country, right? This is no disrespect to the teams you've got ahead of you, but you're not going to face this level of competition. They go to Oceanside, they go to Plainview, JFK, and then another tough stretch of Staples and Scarsdale, 2 games in the span of 3 days.
Staples, Connecticut State Championship last year.
And you see the Flyers as well. A couple of road games, including a trip to Yorktown before St. Ignatius comes here to Gold Star. And then that's a great one as well, right? Going to Darien last year. That was a great matchup here at Gold Star, and 2 of the winningest coaches in the history of this sport on the high school level Braymeyer and Moran will get it going again from up in Darien.
You love the schedules that Chaminade and St. Anthony's play right out of conference, knowing that most likely the two of them will be playing for the championship in the Catholic League. But they really load up and they play some tough opponents, probably to get prepared for one another, and love to just challenge their teams to play the best teams in the country, not just on Long Island.
That'll do it here from Gold Star Stadium. I want to thank our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin. Our technical director is Chris Sweeney. It's Travis DeLuise and Mike Verdi bringing you all those moving images. My broadcast partner, Rob Pennell, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us. Again, your final score, Chaminade 15 and Massapequa 9. You've watched here right on the Varsity Media Sports Network.